All right. Good morning, everyone, or I guess good afternoon, everyone, if you're in UK. I'm going to give my predictions for the 2024 Masters tournament, which features the top 24, although this year I guess it's the top 25 players. Again, it's kind of an exhibition. First time that people have been throwing their darts in a long time for most of them. Could put up some big upsets. I've got some picks that I'm putting forward. It's going to be a tough tournament because, again, this is the first time you're going to see a lot of these dart players in well over a month. But let's get into first. Again, PDC's got the weirdest rules I've ever heard in my life. So Gerwin Price pulls out. Now, he didn't pull out the day before. He pulled out, I believe, yesterday. And the way that it works is Dale Gurney, who's the 25th seed, just goes directly into Gerwin Price's spot, which is a seeded player that gets to play on Saturday. Why wouldn't they take Johnny Clayton, who's the 9th seed, and put him into Gerwin Price's spot and put Gurney into Clayton's spot? So basically, Daryl Gurney, who didn't even qualify for the Masters, is already to the second round because Gerwin Price pulled out. Again, Johnny Clayton's the 9th seed. Why wouldn't he go into that spot? Moronic. Is there a DPRA union out there? Is there a DPRA union? Again, I guess this is an exhibition tournament, so who cares? There's no ranking points against it. But if I'm Johnny Clayton, what the hell are you talking about? I'm the 9th seed. Why would a 25th seed take over that spot? I'm the next one below. Peter Wright's 8. He gets to play on Saturday. Johnny Clayton's 9. Why wouldn't you move Johnny Clayton to that spot? He's the next available lowest seed or highest seed, or whatever you call it. I guess the highest seed. He's the next best player in the top 8. Gerwin Price is in the top 8. Anyways, let's get into the picks. Ryan Searle, Dirk Van Duijvenbode. I love watching Ryan Searle play. Dirk Van Duijvenbode, I liked watching him play, but ever since his shoulder injury, his stats have gone down the tube. I don't know if he's still struggling with it, but I didn't like the way that he wasn't horrible in the World Championship, but I didn't like the way he played last week in the Darts Masters. So I'm going to take Ryan Searle to win this one 6-3. Next game up, Johnny Clayton. I just talked about against Krzysztof Rutowski, the Polish Eagle. Again, last time I saw them play World Championship, didn't like either of their games, to be honest. I did like Rutowski's game in, I believe, in the second round. I didn't like his game. So I think it's going to be a close game. Last time I saw Rutowski throw in the Masters, he started to get a little bit of the wobble on his dart throw. I still think something about Johnny Clayton's game that's kind of gone a little bit south. And I like Rutowski to win this one 6-4. Dave Chisnell, Martin Schindler, should be a lot of 180s. And again, going from the form, both played pretty well in the World Championship. If I take a look at their stats, they're two of the best 180 hitters, so it should be a pretty enjoyable game. I'll take Dave Chisnell to win this one 6-4. The next game probably not as enjoyable. Damon Hedda against Gabriel Clemens. A little bit slower pace. Damon Hedda was just consistent. His stats were worse last year, but his money was more. He's getting himself into the top 16. He's got a chance to get in the top 8 this year. So I'll take Damon Hedda to win this one 6-4. Dimitri Vandenberg against James Wade. This will be a tough game. This will be a tough game to watch. I loved Dimitri Vandenberg's scoring last week, and I haven't seen James Wade since he got beat by Matt Campbell. Go Canada, go. James Wade's always a tough beat, no matter what. He's not going to give you the 105. He doesn't have it in his game, but he's always going to be consistent. And you give him a chance at a double, he usually cracks it. Dimitri Vandenberg's problem is not his scoring, it's his doubles. I still think Dimitri Vandenberg is going to just get way more opportunities, and I've got a bet on him later on, and I'll talk about that. But Dimitri Vandenberg to win this one 6-3. Next game up, I think it'll be the one game that'll be a railroad. Chris Dobie against Andrew Gilding. I like Dobie to win this one 6-1. Joe Cullen, Josh Rock. I'm sorry, Josh doesn't play very well on the TV. It's just a fact. Joe Cullen complains all the time about how he's disrespected. I'm not a big Joe Cullen fan. I'm a bigger Josh Rock fan than I'm a Joe Cullen fan. However, I think Joe Cullen will beat him. Joe Cullen to win 6-4. And then I think the game of the night, they put it on last. Ross Smith against Stephen Bunting. Again, I think these two players are very even. That's probably why they're 16th and 17th in the world. Probably the reason why. Again, Ross Smith has shown that he can win on TV. Bunting has never shown that. Bunting's usually really good until he plays a name player. Is Ross Smith a name player? I'm not sure. I think Ross Smith will hit a lot of 180s. He's one of the best 180 hitters. Bunting's the consistent 140 hitter. I'm going to take Ross Smith to win this one 6-5. I'm going to get into my bets. I got a 3-team parlay. I'm getting Dimitri Vandenberg for -120 over James Wade. I think I'm getting the better player. I know Wade's a tough beat, don't get me wrong. James Wade is a tough beat, but getting -120 for it, I'll take it. So I'm going to do a 3-team parlay. I'm going to take Chris Dobie. I'm getting -250 for Chris Dobie. I think he's way the better player in those odds. While they're a little bit long, I think they're good enough to bump up my... I'm not worried. That's the game. And now I'm going to say I'm not worried about it, and then Dobie won't show up and Gilding will take him out. But I like Dobie over that. I like Dobie to add to it, and then I'm going to take Ross Smith at the end for getting +100. I think it's an even game. I really do think it's an even game. Can go either way, and I'm getting the player that's got the better odds. So if I put those together, a $10 bet would give you $50. So 3-team parlay, Dimitri Vandenberg, Chris Dobie, and Ross Smith. Hope everyone enjoys the darts. Let's see how I do. Start of the year. Probably the worst time because you haven't seen anyone in a month, but should be at least there's some enjoyable games of darts. Cheers.